Welcome to Life Mastery for Women, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality with mind mastery, emotional management, and meditation. Welcome to today's podcast. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you lifting your own spirits. If you're not lifting your own spirits, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. So here's the thing, all the time, we know what it feels like when someone is spiraling. We know what that feels like. We understand firsthand when our emotions are getting the best of us. And we also understand that it's everyone else's fault. Why isn't my husband helping me? Why aren't my kids helping me? Why isn't the lady in front of me in traffic helping me, right? Why are they ruining my life? And it becomes this spiraling existence of negative emotions back down into the root, sacral, and solar plexus, which are the chakras that are the ones that you're blocking when you are spiraling. And here's what I'm going to tell you to do. We have talked about these kind of beliefs a million times in these podcasts, and it goes every time without saying, when you are spiraling, it is all about self-care. It is not about solving the problem because you are not at a vibration to solve the problem. Listen to what I'm saying to you right now. When you are spiraling out of control and your emotions are getting the best of you, you are mad as hell at everybody around you, and you are mad as hell that people are not helping you. You're not going to attract the help. You're not going to attract a solution. You are going to attract more of the same thing. So the goal at this point, when you look at that vibrational scale and you see yourself at a 1 and going down even further, the point of the whole thing when you are in that spiraling position is to get up the scale. There's a problem that happened. Something is going on in your life that led to the spiral in the first place. But as you are in that emotional state, you will not find a solution. You have to get to the higher perspective. Remember, if we get all the way up to 8, 9, 10, your perspective is 1,000 times better. The solutions are right at your fingertips. The help, the support, the conversation, the love is all right around you. But when you're a 1, you have a repelling energy that is not allowing the solution to come to you. It's repelling any kind of help and support and friendship. It's not attracting love. It is attracting more of the same because of the frequency that you're on. So here's what you do. While you are in a good mood, make a list. Make a list. See, I'm a Virgo, so I'm going to have you make lists all over the place. If you don't want to make a list, it is totally fine. You can just figure out something in your head that says, when I am feeling this way, I am going to do this. Okay? I'm going to take a hot bath. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to call a friend, and I'm not going to bitch about my complaint. I'm going to call a friend, and I'm going to shift my energy onto them. I'm going to call somebody who needs me. I'm going to call my mother. I'm going to call my grandmother. I'm going to call my neighbor. I'm going to call someone that I can dump my energy into them. That makes sense? Not because I'm going to complain, but because I'm going to ask them how they're doing. I'm going to shift the perspective. Your goal at this point, when you are flying off the handle, is to recognize no one is going to help you from where you are. You're just not going to get the solution. You're not. Nothing is going to help you to solve the problem. Now, there are things that can help you, but it's just not going to help you solve the problem. So don't try to solve the problem from there. Like, what am I going to do? And my husband is such a jerk, and my kids are so lazy, and this traffic is so stupid. You can't solve the problem. You just go, you know what? I'm in a spiral. I'm in a very low space. My job right now is to get higher up the scale. That's it. That's it. And there are several ways that you can do that. One of the ways that you can do it is you can ask yourself, if I'm feeling this way, whatever the number is, ask yourself, what is it going to take for me to be a 2? And you'll come up with the answers. Your intuition will share with you. My go-to is incense and walking. My go-to is incense, walking, and moving. When I am down in those lower chakras and I'm feeling desperate, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling pissed off, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling sad or grief or loneliness, any of those really tough, difficult emotions, my job is to do what I can to move up the scale. So if I'm feeling, if it's anger, that's a very expanded emotion. And so it has a lot of movement. The energy wants to move. So you get up and start moving. You get up and go for a walk. And don't walk with somebody. Don't walk your dogs because they can be frustrating, stopping and peeing on stuff every 5 seconds. Just get up and go. I go downstairs in our gym and I get on the treadmill. I go outside and sometimes I walk the dogs. I'm okay walking my dogs, but if they are going to annoy you, then don't walk them. If it's going to calm you, then walk them because it's a benefit to them as well. I will go out into a field across the street and I will walk around out there. I sometimes will go for a run. Sometimes I will do some exercise, but it's about moving the energy. If you cannot move because of whatever reason, where you are or in your location or you're stuck in traffic or something, try to do stuff with smelling. I always have something that smells really good in my car. I have essential oils in my car. I have a Palo Santo stick in my car. I would love to burn incense, but I think my family would die because I'd be burning incense all the time, especially in a small space like my car. But bring stuff that smells good. What this is doing when you are triggering the olfactory, which is your sense of smell, is you are concentrating the breathing. So while we are breathing through our nose, we are slowing our thinking, our heart rate, and our posture, like our heart rate. I already said heart rate. Our heart rate, our breathing, and we become present, which is why meditation is about breathing through the nose. So when you're breathing through the nose, you are slowing everything down. When we are spiraling, typically we have a very high moving energy. And in that high moving energy, we are moving quickly to try to solve the problem so we could feel better. But what we need to do is feel better first so we can solve the problem. Let me repeat that. When we are in that spiraling energy, you're wanting to solve the problem so you feel better. But what you need to do is focus on feeling better so you can solve the problem. Okay? Write that down. If that is something that is a nugget, there's a nugget right there. So breathing through the nose, okay? Another is journaling. You can journal the crap out of the situation. Now, you are looking for the feeling better, so you can start to put it down on paper to just push the energy out. Because right now, you're just needing to move the energy out so you can start to rise above it. I would also suggest major self-care. So a hot bath, eating something healthy, drinking maybe a wonderful cup of tea. If you like coffee, a wonderful cup of coffee. I would stay hard away from any like sweets or high fatty foods or greasy foods that are kind of your overindulgent foods. Like don't go open a bag of chips or get a gallon of ice cream or make some alcoholic beverage. Those things are only going to push you down further. So it is about taking care of yourself. Now, these are my best go-to practices. Sometimes when you are so low, you can't do a bunch of stuff. Like I'm not going to journal, Jen. I'm not going to pull out a book. Like there's times where I'm spiraling. There is no way I'm going to go sit down and read anything. My body is moving way too quickly. So it's suggested that then I would go on the treadmill. Go on the treadmill, go outside. If it's nice out, go outside, go walk, go move, right? And make yourself do it for the sake of, you will feel better. It is such a habit. It is such a habit for us to, when we're in that space, to really, really push and force and kink the hose and kick things around and make people make us feel better. Find the solution for me. You're not in alignment with it. So your goal is to get into alignment with the solution. Self-care and self-love, even if you are self-loathing at the moment. So your spiraling homework, if you choose to, when you are spiraling, to get yourself out of it. I love lists, so I make a list. It's on my phone. I have it readily available. I have texted it to Amy, so if I'm in a spiraling conversation with her, she can pull up her list and be like, okay, what about lighting some incense? I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea, because we can't problem solve. And sometimes I rope her in to try to solve the problem. She's like, what number are you right now? I'm like, oh, I'm a freaking -14. I'm so mad. I need to solve this problem. She's like, we can't get it from here. We can't solve it from here. So can you light some incense? Yes, you're right. That's the flipping the switch is right there, is lifting your own spirits by choosing to look a different way. Flip the switch. Otherwise I go, no, Amy, I'm not gonna light incense. I really need to solve the problem. She's like, we could have this conversation for 4 days straight. You're not gonna get it from here. We have to flip the switch. And that instant, that decision, that choice is the work. That awareness, that I stop and I look inward just for a second to pull out that assessment. What number am I? Oh, I'm a freaking 1. Okay, great. Put the problem on hold. Put the problem on hold and then go, okay, what's it going to take for me to become a 2? Let your intuition start to guide you, start to give you other tools, other things to pull from. Now, I'm going to ask you that in your journal, that you make your list of things. What are the things that if I'm a 1 are going to help me to be a 2? Ask your intuition. If I'm a 3, what are the things that are going, now if you want to go like extensive and deep engagement, then I would suggest that you say, you know what, I'm going to make 2 or 3 or 4 items, tasks, events, something that will pull me up from every single number. That is deep engagement. That is personal development. That is, you are going to have an amazing day by the end of the day. So in your journal, writing some things down, trying some things out for the next 24 hours, watch your mood, see where you're at, see and be aware. It's like, I'm not going to complain to anybody anymore. And if I start, I need this support system to say, what number are you? And you go, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm a 1. That's all the way down. You spiraled all the way down. Maybe you can catch yourself next time. That's going to be the goal. And someone says, wait, your husband, maybe your friend, your support, your coach, your neighbor, your mother, whoever can be your support system, and says, okay, wait, stop. What's your number? And you're like, oh, I'm a 6, but I'm heading down to a 5. Okay, go do your work. Do you want to get better? Do you want to go to a 7? Do you want to solve this problem? This becomes the work. And if you can have a support system, then I suggest you have a support system. I suggest you find someone who can help you do that. We have a Lady Rising Facebook group, and we have a Chakras for Beginners Facebook group where we can be your support system. You can get right on there on the page, start complaining about anything, and somebody in that group will say, hey, a minute, what's your number? And we can guide you back up to the top where you are in charge of lifting your own spirits. If you liked this episode and you look forward to future episodes and are really looking for a community to help support you with implementing the tools that we're talking about in this podcast, please consider joining our online sister community called Lady Rising on Facebook, where we focus on that spiritual support and connection, just like in today's episode. I hope you'll join us. Go to Facebook, type in Lady Rising, and tell me you came in through the podcast.